and welcome back to my channel. This is Erica with Wicked Sip Trip and Flip, and today I have another holiday craft for you guys. We're going to be using the digitals that I just released. It's my new Christmas digital collection, and we're going to be making these adorable little paperclip bookmarks that are perfect for gift giving. You can use them in your Christmas junk journals, December dailies, but I have a bunch of these that I'm going to make up using the really gorgeous Christmas Rose and Cardinals digitals that I have available. Before we get started, I would so appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Also turn on that little notifications bell and make sure to set to all so you receive all of my notifications whenever I post a new video. All right, let's get started with this project. Okay, so I just released a new digital collection of beautifully inspired, vintage inspired papers that are going to be part of my Christmas series this year. It's actually called Christmas Roses and Cardinals. The inspiration came from this gorgeous journal that I got from Three Birds Lane. I've been admiring her journals for a few years now, and so I finally went ahead and grabbed one, and whenever I saw the little cardinal and the rose on the front of this, I knew I had to have it. So this was the inspiration for my digital paper collection that we're going to use in this project. So I've gone ahead and printed out some of the background pages that come along with my digital. As you can see, I've already cut down some of these. They are full 8.5 by 11 inch pages, and there's 10 pages total, 5 of ephemera and 5 background style pages. So the first one is this really pretty kind of Currier and Ives style toile dashing through the snow image on this kind of like red transferware background. So I cut 1.5 strips off of this paper, so I have a few of those. I also have this one right here, which is this beautiful kind of Victorian-esque angels and really pretty like vintage ornaments and kind of just a collage of a whole bunch of different Victorian vintage Christmas decor. So again, I'm cutting a 1.75 inch, I'm sorry, 1.5 or 1.75 inch strips, depending on the size of your paper clip. Now I tried to find as large of paper clips as possible. These are the largest ones I have. These are 2-inch paper clips. So for these ones, I actually cut strips that are 1.75 inches. I have some that are a little smaller that I cut 1.5 inch strips, but it just depends on the size of your paper clip. Okay, so here are a few of the ephemera digitals. I've actually cut out quite a few of them already. Some of the smaller pieces, like you see here, there's some postage stamps, there's some tags, here's another postage stamp, there's some larger cards as well. I'm probably not going to use the larger cards in this project, but I am going to use a lot of the little small pieces. All right, so then I also have another background page. This is like a poinsettia and then a Christmas rose with a really pretty bell in the corners. So again, I've cut 1.75 inch off of these. These were all printed out on a little bit heavier of a cardstock material. I wanted them to be a little bit thicker. I don't want them to be, you know, flimsy. And then lastly, this is one of the background pages. This is actually a vintage floral fabric that I love the colors. The colors work really well with this whole color scheme, and I incorporated a little strip of lace on both ends. So one side I've already cut off the strip of lace. So again, 1.75 inch strips I've already cut. All right, so here are some of the strips that I mentioned. So I've got, these are 1.5 inch, these are 1.75 inches right here. So these are my 1.75 inches. And then these are a couple of the digital strips that come in the kit for whatever. I ended up cutting these out because I might use some of these. One has, again, this was a blue velvet fabric with a little bit of lace. So I cut that one out, and this one was a larger pink background with a larger lace, and so I just cut that strip out as well. Those are going to be my paper strips. Now, in addition to the paper strips, I have these very small vintage paper doilies. Now, I think these were for tumbler glasses. Again, I thrifted a big bag of all kinds of paper doilies, and these little small ones were included, and they are about 2.5 inches in diameter. So I have a handful of them, and I have been wanting to use them in some sort of a project. But if you don't have anything like this, you can always use lace scraps and cut out little 2.5 or 2-inch circles of lace scrap and use that. But I am going to use up these little doilies. Okay, so here is a bunch of my little ephemera pieces that I've already gone ahead and cut out. I cut out many of these with my Cricut cutter, so because I hate fussy cutting, I just wanted to have a bunch ready to use. So all of these little tags and tickets are all ephemera pieces that come in my kit, so you'll get all of these. And there's some beautiful ones in here. There's little vintage tags, there's little vintage tickets, there's little vintage Christmas labels, there's stamps, there's beautiful stamps with cardinals, so lots of variety of different like reds and pinks and those beautiful cardinal and rose theme. Okay, so I'm gonna just set these aside because I'm not sure exactly which ones I'm going to use yet. Then, in addition to those little pieces of ephemera, I've collected just some bits and bobs of like little small things. You can use any type of decor that you want, but I just collected just a small little amount of like little small things that they're like little offcuts of ribbon or little pieces of pearl or little sparkly beads, or there's those little jeweled stickers, little snowflake, little pieces of greenery, little berries. I just have a bowl full of just assorted little things, buttons. I also have a little scrap of this. I used it in this one right here, so this is all I had left, so I figured I'm gonna use that up. So just a bunch of little odds and end thingies for decorating. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my paper clips and one of my paper strips, and I'm going to just slide it through my paper clip, and then I'm going to fold it over. Now this doesn't really matter how big you make it. I wanted mine to be longer than the 2.5 inches. So I'm folding mine at about, let's say I'm gonna do about 3.5, I think. So let's see what this looks like. I'm just using, yeah, so that's about 3.5 inches that I'm going to go ahead and fold that paper. And I'm folding it right on my paper clip here, just so that I know I have the right size that I want. And then I'm gonna take my Fabrifix, because I'm using Fabrifix glue and hot glue for this. And I am just going to put a little bit of Fabrifix right along where my paper clip is, and then all along my front fold here. And I wanna make sure I have a good amount because I want that to stick really well. I don't want it to pop open. So just fold that, make sure my edges are all lined up. Now again, when you're folding this, it's making it double-sided, so you have front and back, just like this one right here. It's pretty on the back as well as on the front. All right, so then once I get it to where I want, or once I've got it a little bit dried, then I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut a fork out of the bottom. And to do this, I'm just eyeballing. I'm gonna start right where the end of my first sheet is, and I'm just gonna cut up a little triangle, and then go from the other side and cut up and meet that triangle. So now I have a nice little banner style paper coming out the bottom of my paper clip, just like that. And then this is a little piece of scrap. I'm saving all these little scraps because I can definitely use them for something later on. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead in with my frayed burlap distress ink, And I'm gonna just distress the edges, front and back. All right. Now I'm ready to decorate. Okay, so next I'm gonna take one of my little doilies, and again, I'm gonna distress the edges of my little doily. Now these are very thin and very fine, so just be careful if you're using doilies. You know, just distress very carefully so that way you don't rip the doily. I'm just going lightly all around the edge. And then I'm going to set that doily right on the top of my little banner here, and I'll just use my Fabrifix to make a nice coat of glue for that doily. We'll set that right down in the glue and just press it down and let it dry for a minute. All right, so now I want to figure out what I want to use as like a focal center point of this image. So I have all these very pretty vintage style stamps, which I could use something like that. There's another one. I have this cute little 25th tag, which is very cute. There's another cardinal. This is a cardinal on a train. That one is very cute. Okay, so I've been playing around with what image that I want. I know I kind of picked out one before. I thought I was gonna do this one with the train, but then I've been kind of playing around and I think I like this large cardinal better. I mean, they're all pretty. I have this little one too. But I think we'll do this large cardinal right here. I was thinking that green rickrack framing the large cardinal might be cute. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna also do this little mini bow at the bottom with the green rickrack. So I'm just gonna take my glue and glue my image down first. There's so many ways you can decorate something like this. I'm just trying to do some like different ideas. So I'm gonna just center that square. This is a larger square stamp, so I just wanna make sure that it's centered within the little tag. And then I am gonna take my rickrack and I'm gonna cut, because I'm gonna go like make like a border, I think, around the edge of my stamp with my rickrack. So just take a little bit of my glue and we'll put that rickrack like that. But all right, so there's the rickrack. And then, like I said, I was thinking about putting this little, I got a package of little mini red velvet bows. So I'm thinking about putting one of these little red velvet bows, but I don't want this, it's got like a little pipe cleaner wrapped around it, and I don't want that sticking out. So I'm just gonna tighten it up and then we'll clip off the excess of those pipe cleaners with my wire snips. Like that. Now we can kind of put that on the front right there. I'm thinking also I want something else. Now I was thinking about doing like a little charm or a little dangle, something similar to what I did on this one. This one I had a little bingo number that I put on a little small clothespin. I'm sorry, a little small, clothespin. And just hung it as a little charm off of the edge, which I could definitely do something like that. I also have these little blingy beads, which I could put one of these little blingy beads on there. Let me just look and see what else I have. I have all kinds of little odds and ends. which I wanted to decorate this up a little bit here. What if we put a little bit of greenery and we off-center the bow? So it's not in the center. We'll put a little bit of greenery behind it. And then I could even put some berries or maybe even a couple of pearls. I did a pearl on that one. So I could do maybe a couple of pearls. Here's a little dangle. This was an earring. That's kind of cute. We could do a little dangle of some sort. I don't know. I'm just going to play around with this and see what I come up with. There's a little snowflake. I like the gold I like to keep more of a gold tone, I think, in this one. So like I said, I'm just going to play around, see what I come up with, and we'll show you in a minute. Okay, so I found these little strips of jewel stickers. They're little tiny ones. And I did one in each of the 3 corners. And in the other corner, I actually took one of those little bows and I put a little snowflake charm on a little clothespin or a little safety pin, and put it on the front of this bow with a larger little jewel charm. And then I'm going to take some of this little plastic greenery and we're going to put that right on the front, and we're going to put that bow right on the top of that little piece of greenery. So we will use our hot glue for this. So let's put this kind of on an angle, and then I'll put some more hot glue on the back of our bow. We'll just set that right down on top. All right, so that looks really cute now. I really like this one. Love the gold accents on this one. So this one I did a little bit more pink, and then this one was a little bit more gold. All right, so let's do some more. I have a bunch to make. What I'll do is I will just film while I'm working, and I'll speed up the video so that way you guys aren't watching for 2 hours long while I make 5 or 6 more of these. I did 6 different paperclip tags, and I will show you each one. So this was the one that I did ahead of time. That was the one with the little miniature pom-pom ribbon all around, kind of framing out that pretty little cardinal. And then this is a little wooden bingo number on a little safety pin, and some vintage plastic flowers with a little vintage pearl. So that's the first one. Then I have this one, which I did with you guys. This has the green rickrack, the little red jewels in the corner, the little snowflake charm attached to this little velvet red mini ribbon, and then another little larger red jewel sticker with some greenery. And then the cardinal is the centerpiece. This one I did a little bit longer, and what I used was I used this ribbon strip. It's a strip of ribbon. It's from my digital, and I glued it onto the side of my tag because I wanted to incorporate a little bit of that kind of Victorian blue color. We used a little cardinal postage stamp, and I used 3 of the little kind of bluish colored pearl stickers, and then I made another little charm with another little bingo number and another little blue pearl on a safety pin, and then there's a little button with a red jewel in the center of it with a little bit of greenery and some more pearls. So that one is really pretty. This one right here, I framed out another little postage stamp with some miniature pearl strip of this mini pearl stripping. And then I did a little charm from I did a little charm from a holiday earring that I turned into just a little charm on a safety pin, and we put a little bling in the corner with a little bit of a ribbon. And then this was another one. I love the little snowflake I did on this one. This is a ticket for Lehigh Valley Railroad. And then we did like a little spray of pearls and fabric. And then another little charm that I made from just a little piece of bling that I pulled off of a necklace or something like that. This is a digital of one of those bingo numbers. This is the paper digital. You'll get the paper digitals in the digital kit as well. And then lastly, I did another longer one with that red toile colored paper. And then I used one of my Christmas tags, the Merry Christmas tag with a little vintage button. I made another little charm on a safety pin with just a red bead and then a little blingy bead, and then we just used some scrap of this pink ribbon with some of the plastic greenery. So that's all of them. I think they came out so adorable. They're perfect theming to go into my journal. Obviously I'm not going to put all of them in my journal, but I wanted to share with you a bunch of different ones. I might even include one of these in a Patreon package that I send out this month. We'll see. But yeah, this is the little paperclip tags. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Your little notifications bell is set to all so that you receive all of my notifications. And we will see you again very soon in my next DIY video. Have a great day, guys. Take care.